Good afternoon. Welcome to FullSizeFord. The last time we worked on this car, if you remember, winter was setting in. Well, it's springtime now. Well, not quite yet, but it's kind of feeling like it. See, most of our snow's gone. I've got this one little patch right over here that's still hanging in there. But we've got to get this car prepared for the swap meet. When we bought this car, they did fire it up on a bottle. It does run. However, we need to make it run on its own. I have no idea what the condition of the tank is. I am going to put a fuel pump in it, which came with, they told me the fuel pump was bad. It came with the car. So the previous owner didn't put the fuel pump in because there's an AC compressor up on top of it. I'm hoping he didn't want to deal with pulling all that out. I'm hoping I can go from the bottom and maybe not have to remove that. All right. So the fuel pump on this car, it's a 390 2-barrel, is down behind there, behind that power steering pump. And you're gonna see that fuel hose they have terminating right here. So they, that's as far as that goes. So we'll need to get a pump in it. We'll need to run fuel line down to the pump. First thing I need to do really is we kind of messed up when we unloaded this off the trailer, and we thought we were further back than what we were. And this is uphill right here onto this slab, and two people could not push this car back up on a slab. So I need to get this up all the way on the slab where I can jack it up and thus service it. It can't be that heavy. Oh my gosh. This car's got some girth to it. Wow. Huh. A little Bondo in 55. Make it go up and down. So I could load it back up on the trailer and back it up a few feet and let it back down again. You knew it was a 1/2 inch. Why'd you get the 9/16? Always 1/2 inch. All right, correct wrench. Just make sure we don't have too much corrosion going here, because it looks like there's corrosion in between this terminal. New battery cables. Okay, let's clean all the corrosion off of these terminals. Okay. A lot of things pulling power off of that stud.
Or you can re-pick it up on the trailer and drop it off again.
I mentioned that. I thought about that. After monkeying around doing all this, it might be the easier way to go.
But this needs to be done anyway.
Yep.
Get that moving.
Yep, we need to have it. It needs to be running. In Portland, it needs to be able to get on and off the trailer on its own. It's almost like there's just too many things here, but that's the way it was. All right. We've already extinguished plans A, B, C, and D. How about E? I only need to go like 5 feet. All right, y'all can stop making fun of me. It's not a stupid idea if it works, right? Let's see what happens. We're either gonna get the car pulled up here, or we're gonna pull the garage door. I don't know if that's gonna be strong enough. No, I can already tell that's not gonna work. We're gonna have to go to something a little bit more solid. All right, so this battery has been percolating on the charger here for a while, and the old Schumacher still doesn't say that it's fully charged, so I'm thinking it's not going to say that it's fully charged. Let's take a look. So let's go ahead and take it off the charger, and we'll put it on, let's just test it with the multimeter and see what the voltage is actually at. All right, so let's take a look at the fluke here and see what she says. Get this to work and put it on our Optima Pulse type charger. Sometimes if you have batteries that are discharged, they'll do a better job. 12.4, that's as high as I've been able to get it. So the Optima charger at work is a little bit different type charger. It's a pulse type charger, and sometimes when these batteries have been sitting for a while, your standard battery charger sometimes won't bring them back, but the Optima charger will. I've had success with it, so I think I'm going to need to take that to work and do that. So while we're messing around charging up battery with stuff, I think what we're going to do next is, this ignition switch is bad, so I think we'll just go ahead and change that out, and that would probably hopefully deal with any connectors on the back that are bad too. Okay, there's some little, all right, so there's some little notches in here. There's 3 little notches. I'm sure there's probably a spanner, wrench, or tool for this. But usually you can take a screwdriver, and they're usually not very tight, and you can usually get these to spin by just sticking them. You just want to be careful. You don't want to like mar this up. Somebody's already had this one out, but like so. Just be careful. Steady pressure on it. These just unthread. Just kind of recessed in a little hole right here. Now I searched. And I hope I have the right ignition switch. Once we get that out, we can pull that around. Then we pull this off of here. Well, it's kind of gummy. There might be some corrosion on this switch here. It looks like there's two little deals you can push down, and that will pull off of there. And there's our switch. Now we need to remove this from the key. So we're going to need a paper clip to go in this little hole and the key. Typically, if you don't have the key, you got to drill these out. So there's our switch there. Here's the one I got. This is a 69. This is a Motorcraft. Motorcraft number was an SW1054. You see the number on this is a D1AZ11572C. That is probably a revised engineering number, because this car would have originally been a C9 something on that ignition switch. But see, this one I think looks the same. Appears to be the same unit. Looks like it has the same pins and everything. So yes, looks identical. So that's good. So I did find this on eBay. It was weird. I actually found one of these. I could go down to O'Reilly's and get a standard or Napa and get a Belkin or Ball Camp or whatever there is. But the stuff today just isn't very good. So I found one on Amazon. It was like 30 some bucks. I'm like, awesome. Ordered it. Next day I got a notification that my order had been canceled. No explanation, no reason, just said your order is canceled. Went back on, and the seller that was selling this on, it wasn't through Amazon, it was a private seller on somebody selling through Amazon, had relisted it for $90 some. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. So I found this one on eBay. I think I paid like 30 bucks for this one. But again, if you can find this original new old stock stuff, you probably will pay a little more. But this one, in this case, this wasn't bad. Maybe I paid 50 for it. I don't know. Don't remember. But if you can find this new old stock stuff, even though it's been sitting on a shelf for 30 years, it's typically better than the new stuff you can buy in the parts stores today, which is sad. So let's go ahead and get this cylinder removed from the old. Okay, so we have our keys here. You can see our key turns there. Typically when you turn to the accessory position, one click back, you can see it launches into this, lines it up with this section right here, which there's a little pin in that section. Now if we push that pin in, we can typically turn it one more, and then the switch will pop out. Now that I said that, it's not going to work. It's going to thwart me. I'm trying to do this and show it on the camera. There, boom. And the cylinder's out. So the problem when we had this car running was we got it started. They ran it off the bottle where we bought it. But the problem is you couldn't shut it off. So they were thinking the ignition switch was faulty. I figured it's really old. Might as well get a new one. Yeah, this one just feels funky inside. I'm going to see if I could get a feel for Yeah, now rather than fixing the car, now you're playing with the old one. So let's lock the pin, which allows it to slide to this other one, all the way over. Now you can slide in, boom. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it feels like it clicks positively, but I don't know. The contacts could just be corroded inside. Maybe it's still good. Am I going to hang on to this? Yeah, I'm kind of a pack rat, so probably. Alright, so let's get the new switch in. Quit messing around. Actually, I'm just stalling so my battery can charge. So, switch is installed. Now this pigtail right here, it actually came with a pigtail too, I guess in case your wiring is bad. I'm hoping I don't have to deal with that. But with a bunch of crimp connectors on it. You can see this has an actual part number on it. I don't know if you can see that, but a C9AB, which would be 1969. And I don't know what actually comes in this little packet right here that came in it also. There's like 4 like tiny set screws in there. So I don't even know if that goes with this or not. There wasn't some instructions in the box, so, you know, maybe. Okay. We'll write on this used. So I think my pigtail's okay. So there's 2 large. I think what I'm going to do, see there's 2, I'll get you in there. There's 2 large pins in there. I want to make sure that this one's got a little bit of corrosion on it. So I'm going to get a pick. I'm kind of clean that out a little bit. And then we'll reassemble. It maybe on the bottom of this inner ring in there, there's a little boss, and you'll have on one of these, you'll have a little notch right there, and that's where this locks into, and then screw the bezel on. So let's go ahead and do that. So that's where that goes. And then the bezel will go back on it. Basically on this car, that the little hole for the paper clip is on top. Okay. All right. Probably should have put this connector on before I put this in, but you know, I am an idiot. Okay, so that's plugged in. You can still get these bezels new. Got a little trick here I'm gonna try. If I can get me a pair of snap ring pliers here and see if it'll bridge the gap. Oh, they're just not big enough. Well, maybe I can get it a little tighter. I do probably have a bigger pair of snap ring pliers in there. These ones just don't want to reach between the two notches. Oh, maybe they might. There we go. Well, that should be good. So that should give us new ignitionage once we get the battery in there. All right. So we got a little more charge on the battery. Got the cable installed, or the terminals cleaned on that cable. New switch installed. We got an oil light. I wonder if we got a corroded neutral safety switch. So I'm gonna get you a look in here. This doesn't look promising. So I do know this car runs, I've heard it run, but this is a very, very corroded fuse box. Dang, people, don't take cars to the coast, please. All right, it's time to quit procrastinating. Always somebody driving by. 2 days. Actually, 1 day now. I got tomorrow, and then tomorrow's Wednesday, and then Thursday we got to be on the road for Portland for the swap meet, and this car's still not running. So let's get a fuel pump in it. Thought about maybe trying to go from underneath, but I'm thinking I might just pull this compressor. Not gonna be that hard, right? All right, tool time. Is it gonna rain again? Maybe. Maybe. So it's a little after 5:30 in the afternoon, and you're like, why weren't you working on this earlier? It has finally, it pretty much poured all day today. But it is April 1st, and you know what they say, April showers bring May flowers. Or what we say around here, April showers make more rust and bring more parts cars. Is that a saying? Yeah, it is now. So that should allow us to get that belt off of there. Just let that hang there. Made in the USA. And maybe, I don't know. I can just... hoping I can just take this off and just kind of set it out of the way. Oh, dummy, that extension's gonna be way too long. Man. All right, let's try this. Let's just try a deep socket instead of getting an extension. Hey. Should have done that the first time. Let's see. Just want to make sure, is that I'm needing to take off to get this pump off of here. This thing's got idler brackets, and I see why they went to serpentine belts. Let's see if it'll take. Clutch still spins. This compressor must put out some massive torque. They got this thing braced like everywhere. Okay. There's another one back here. That's right up against the distributor. I don't want to crack my distributor cap. It looks pretty new. One of those where it's just loose enough to where it doesn't want to make the ratchet work, but okay. And then it's held off down here too. It's bolted to a bracket over here. Is that power steering pump hooked to it? That power steering cooler? All right. Can I snake my hand down in there? Yeah. Will I ever be able to get it out again? Maybe. Probably gonna leave some skin in there. Okay. Turns 3 times by hand and then stops. You gotta get the ratchet in. So it looks like the bolt that holds the power steering pump on is also going through the bracket. So that goes way off there. And then this one on this side actually goes through also where the alternator bracket goes on. So this isn't going to be as easy as I thought, but is it ever? Well, that should free it from there. And I've got it freed from there. So I'm hoping there's still something. So I'm guessing, okay, that bolt's unbolted. Is there another bolt down there? Yes. There is another bolt down there. And it looks like I'm going to have to remove the power steering belt to get to that bolt. Don't worry, pretty soon we'll have the engine out of here. We'll have the motor out. Then we can put a fuel pump on it and reinstall it. And that'll take 19 years, because while it's out, I'm like, yeah, we might as well put headers on this thing. Okay, so that should loosen the pump. Allow me to drop that belt off so I can get to that pump. That belt was a tight fit. There. Now that's out of the way. Did I drop that belt off again? What was it in the way of? Oh, it must have been that bolt right there. Okay. Wait, the sun's getting warm. Nice. I like it. Now I'm gonna need the short 9/16 socket. All right. Getting my steps in, gonna get more tools. All right. You know, I will say that everything that I've pretty much touched on this has been a 9/16, which is pretty rare. Oh, well, that one just snapped off. That was not a positive experience. You know it. I'm going to get more tools. See, I knew it. I knew I was going to misjudge that, so that's why I went and got 2. That's the one that it is. The blaster. I usually use the Seafoam Deep Creep, but this was closer. Oh, probably because it's no good and it doesn't spray anymore. Maybe we could just drop some on there. And then you didn't bring an extension. Oh, you moron. Does that act like it's... Is that bolted on further down too? Is there another bolt down underneath there that I can't see? I can see clearly now. No, I can't. If I could see clearly, I wouldn't buy all these rusty, junky cars. Okay, so it goes down there. Oh, so maybe it does go down into that bolt. So let's see what happens when we pull that out. Like I said, pretty soon, I'm pretty much going to have the motor out of the car if I keep going at this rate. I think this compressor for this AC, I think, has more displacement than most cars today. There's a convenient spot right there to just keep ratcheting, you know what I mean? Okay, so that pulley is completely out. And so is that bolt right there. Come on, you. Give me my ratchet back. No, I didn't say you could have that. Give it here. Boy, bolts on in 3 places. Probably never find where that goes again. Aha! There is another bolt right there. I'm feeling. I knew it. I knew it in my heart. Alright. Doing the one-handed ratchet thing, because you can't fit 2 hands in there. Woohoo! Power by Ford. That's right. Like I say, I've heard this car run 1 time when we bought it. Party on, Garth. Who orders AC in a convertible anyway? Oh, my arm's getting tired. Oh, I can definitely feel there's some weight hanging on that. Oh. Okay. I think that's the power steering bracket. I think it all ties in. It feels like it was hooked into this bracket as well. Oh, look at that. We're getting somewhere now. Now we're cooking with bacon. Okay. So we got that bracket out. Okay. Now, hey, there's a fuel pump. Now we get this compressor out of the way. You can see it, the compressor is still firmly attached to this bracket, which I believe is going to be bolted again somehow to this engine back here. I have a feeling there's another bolt holding this because this feels really, really, really solid, like it's not even moving. Can't see in there. Let's do some exploratory feeling. We're supposed to be loading the car tomorrow and you're still taking it apart. You're going the wrong direction. But that's par for the course. Dude. It's a 3/4 to half adapter, dummy. I think it was last year at 1:30 in the morning before we were to depart. We were loading the 55 on the trailer, the Crown Vic, the Fairlane Victoria. It's not a Crown Vic. You can go back and watch that video if you want. Oh, see, now my compressor's wiggling around. That was the one. That was the golden goose right there. There's probably a few of these I didn't need to take off. But you know how life goes. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. I think I'm probably just going to disconnect these AC lines. I'm pretty sure there's nothing in this system. If I start to crack it, and it starts to hiss, I'll stop. I'll stop. I became disengaged. That's what my teacher said all the time at school. He just becomes disengaged. It's because he's bored. Pulling this compressor out. I'm probably going to raise the front of this car like 3 inches. This is the most long-winded bolt. Either that or it's... No, I still see it. Oops. Oh, don't bend that power steering cooler. Be careful. It's getting difficult because the pump is like super loose now. The AC pump, and it's actually resting on my extension. Okay, well, it feels like I'm out. Yes, yes, we have compressorage removalage. Yes. Okay. Question is, now what do I do with it? Okay. Whew. That was a chore. That was one of the most unfun things I've ever done. Okay. So I'm thinking if I was hoping I could just move it out of the way. and leave the lines hooked up, but the lines are just, one comes from the other side of the car, one comes from over here, and I can't go either direction. We're bringing out the serious wrenches now. These are the kind that you see people throwing on like Orange County choppers. Oh, there goes my neighbor with his fox body. Oh, that car sounds good. It's got like 347 stroker in it. Of course, I'm like, oh, those are too small. Those are gonna be too big. The one I had the first time. Oh, that's good. Now, in grand fashion, why didn't you crack these loose when the thing was tight? Because I don't think ahead like that. Pressure on me. One thing at a time. This is probably going to be corroded in there. Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know if these are going to come out. It moved. It's moving. It's not coming out or anything. See if I can put a little PB blaster on it from the can that doesn't spray, that I will not throw away because I can hear liquid in it, and I will set it back in my garage so I can pick it up 8 more times to discover that it doesn't work. Get on there, let it soak for a bit. Okay, it's been 30 seconds. Has it worked yet? Because I am a patient man. I can rock it back and forth, but I can't move it away at all. I don't really want to, like, hit on it. You know what I mean? But I might have to tap it. Let's give it a little taparoo. Alright. Well, there wasn't much in there. Not enough to put a hole in the ozone layer, okay? But it's loose. So now, let's see if this lets me just set this aside enough to get to my fuel pump. Maybe. So that should be free of it then. Yes, that is now free of the pump. So now, take the pump. Oh no, let's drop it on everything and break something. Okay. Now after all that, we have access to the fuel pump. Oh, that was a chore. And now I get to go to try to extracting a broken bolt as well. But at least it's in the bracket, it's not in the motor. Well, don't just keep staring at it. It's not going to take itself off of there. You dummy. Go get a line wrench. Okay. Yeah. First figure's confirmed. Probably going to have to go underneath the car in order to get this out. The fuel line. Yeah, okay. Creeper time. Seriously, a bird pooped on my creeper? Alright, did that happen? Oh boy, not for the claustrophobic! And these clips on there. And why did I not bring my other wrench with me? Because I wanted to make sure I get in and out from under the car 26 times. Alright, now that it's broken free, on a regular pinch, man, there's like... Okay, here we go, back in again. Any rot in this core support at all. This car is actually pretty solid. It's a unique car. I'd love to keep it, but I just can't. I don't have anywhere to keep it inside. And it's just going to get ruined. It needs to go where somebody can keep it in a garage and love on it. And you can drive it. You can drive it while you fix it up. You know? One little turn at a time. It seems like forever and a day. My wife should be home pretty soon. Daughter's here making her scalloped potatoes. Looking forward to that. Oh, hi, Taurus. Nobody put your wheel back on you? Gosh, it's been like 2 years. I'm such a bad car owner. Did something happen? Yeah, that's got to be free. That's got to be free from that. Has to be. I've cranked on you for like an hour and a half. Apparently we're not done. Okay. Is this thing like 47 miles long or what? My hand is starting to cramp up from working in this small space. And those lines, you know, you break them free and then you can do them by hand. Apparently not this one. Apparently not this one. Oh, I see what the problem is. Our steering pump's up against it. Well, how long did I crank on that for to figure that out? Oh, you dummy. Okay. Time to take the fuel pump off. Oh no, should have known better than that. Ford, use a deep socket on that. You gotta use a shorty so you can clear the housing on the pump. Like so. Careful with the fan shroud there. We've got a crack in it. You don't want to make it worse. Okay. goes the Mustang again. It still doesn't really want to come out by hand. Weird, because it won't ratchet. There's not like enough resistance to make it ratchet. It could be because there's just no room. I have trouble getting my hand down in there. Let's try this way. Ah, there we go. One fuel pump bolt. As they say in football, let's go for two. That one just doesn't spin as easy. Oh, it looks like it's stopping. I'll be. You little diesel. Okay, that's what you want. We'll get the ratchet again. That's the way it's got to be. Again, it's not enough ratchet. Can't grab it by hand. Looks like we might be doing something. Oh yeah, she's coming. She's coming now. Yeah, that's gotta be good enough to be able to get it by hand. Well, maybe not. Oh, you ones. Two. Okay. Now, there she goes. Bottom removal. And there is the culprit. Simple little device, really, but essential. If you're not going to run an electric fuel pump, you do need a mechanical fuel pump. So, grab a rag here. Alright, so there it is down the hole there. The fuel pump is out, it's getting dark, and the light is fading, so I think we're going to call it for tonight. We'll be back out here first thing in the morning tomorrow, get the new pump installed and get all this reassembled. Maybe in the meantime I'll try to extract my broken bolt out of this bracket over here. Alright, so next day, Wednesday afternoon, and we leave tomorrow morning early for Portland. So, try to get a fuel pump in this car. Clean that off a little bit. Now this time it's April, so you gotta, sun comes out, then it goes away, then it rains, then the sun comes out, and then it hails, and then the sun comes out. You got a window, and I see over this way most of our stuff comes from the west, and it's looks like we might get some more weather, so let's see what we can accomplish here in our short window. Let's see if we can get a fuel pump in this thing. This is the fuel pump that we got. B0004P Napa. This came with the car, so I haven't even verified that this is correct. Probably a bad idea on my part. Oh, there's still a receipt in there. $27. 69 Galaxy. Hidden like Idaho. Alright. I'm just going to use a little RTV just to keep the gasket on it while I'm trying to install it. These are always difficult. Pretty breezy out here right now. Right. Let's go ahead and put a little RTV on this. Oh, here comes the sun. Come on, baby. Come on, son. Give me some vitamin D. Yeah. Okay. Now, where did I just set that down at? Oh, there it is. On the fender. Things I seem to always end up doing. Fuel pumps. Brakes. You can go back. There's the old fuel pump. Not doing pumping things anymore. You can go back and watch the earlier videos on this car where we actually got done getting the brakes squared away. That was just amazing brilliance. They set it there thinking it would sit right there, and it falls right out the bottom of the car. Perfect. Always, I mean never, drop your fuel pump on the ground to calibrate it. Not recommended. Take this motor around. I like it the far. See the lever for the pump rides on a lobe on the cam, and if your lobe is actually pushing this down, when you put the pump back in there, you actually have to overcome the pump pressure of this spring. Oh, it doesn't want to move at all. I'm thinking if I rotate the motor around a little bit, maybe I can get it to where I'm off that lobe. See, that's a lot better. And I don't have to fight the spring on the fuel pump so much. And I just dropped my pump out the bottom again for the 42nd time. Now I always round up. I know. That was only the second time, but doesn't 40 seconds sound so much more dramatic? No, I'm not trying to inject drama into it. No drama here on this channel. Just idiots working on cars. Alright. Okay, that's the third time. Let the gasket again. This probably would have been a lot easier had I just moved the power steering pump out of the way, because I'm fighting that too. It's up against it there, so we can rotate the motor a little more. I do this every time, and I don't know why, but they don't actually make gloves that you can actually thread bolts with. It's just impossible. Okay, pulling it back out again for the 30th time, and we're going sans gloves. These gloves are great for like being able to touch things, but once you get any kind of liquid on them, your fingers just slide around the bolt and the bolt doesn't turn. They are the slimiest. So we're just gonna get greasy, and you know, thought I was just saving on the hand cleaner a little bit, but nope. Look at that. That's all I needed. All I needed was to take the black slimy gloves off. Yeah, I got a little dirt on my hands, but ask me, why do you, as a mechanic, do you hate things on your hands? I don't know. I don't know. And I'm, you know, taking a hot dog out of the package, you know, and you get the little slimy stuff on your face. I gotta wash it off. I just don't like things on my hands. I just don't. I don't know why. Remember the plan. The plan was to drive this car onto the trailer under its own power and be able to get it on and off the trailer at the swap meet on its own without assistance. Every year they cringe when they see me coming, all the guys I go with, because it's like, we gotta push a car again. Comes Jeff with another non-running car. I changed the name to full-size non-running Ford. This year's gonna be different. Fuel pump installage complete. Now hook up lines. I probably should have checked. Yeah, here we go. I probably should have checked to see if I had any fuel hose, because I'm gonna need to run fuel hose down or from this to I'll move their little doohickey here, because they were running it on a clicky-clacky. Oh. We're running 3/8 hose here. Gates fuel hose. Come on. Come on off there. Oh, here comes the rain. Oh, time to duck for cover again. Be back with you in just a moment. All right, so the little canister for the headlights, this is broken off on the bottom. So I pulled this one out of the 70. I'm gonna see if they're the same. This one looks like it has a lot taller rod on it. So I'm not hopeful that this is going to work. I think 69 and 70 are very similar cars, so I don't understand why they'd have to be different. Ford? You're bad. You're naughty. On this side of the latch, maybe? The latch looks the same. Come on off of there, you little hose. Maybe not. Okay. Between that and the bumper. The other one did. Well, the 70 did. Of course, watch, this is the one that won't come out of here. My guess is that this is pushed in, bent, so which is not allowing clearance for that. There's always got to be something. I don't think. Yeah, see, that one's just. It's just busted right off of there. But again, this one looks different. This one looks way taller. Has a way longer rod. So I don't think this is going to work anyway. So I'm actually going to need, it looks like, a pod off of a see, that one has studs, and this one doesn't. Oh yeah, it does. They're shorter studs though. Oh. Yeah, there's the... Okay. So, well, we know what the deal is with it. And I'm not going to be able to fix it. Ford, you did it to me again. 6970. Supposed to be pretty much the same car. This one's different. The canister's different. So note yourself, if you have a 69 Ford XL, what we're going to do, the oh, I gotta fix the headlight. Gotta fix the headlight before I can do that. No, the little springy here is. If I get some needle nose pliers. Man, it's just one thing after another on this car. Maybe there is something to buying new cars. Ah. So I'll show you what I'm dealing with now. And you probably can't see it on the camera, but in the older cars, the spring was on the bucket. The tension spring. And then you have the two adjusting screws. On this car, which explains why this is like this, the spring actually goes on the retaining ring in this hole right here. The old cars would have 3 places where this bolt screwed on. This one only has 2, and then the spring hangs and pulls the bucket back. Why they did it that way, I don't know. I don't like it. I like the old way better. But I say that about a lot of things. But this car is fighting me. She's probably going to go to Portland not running. She should fire by pouring gas down the car, but... Okay. So we found a headlight, just to at least... I don't even know if this light works, but at least it'll dummy it in there. Make it look good. Well, if I can get the assembly to stay together for 12 seconds. Right. So now I got to get the spring hooked to this and on there and get the whole thing back up in there. And the spring don't like to play nice. So I'm going to turn the camera off in case I say something I shouldn't. Right. So here it is next morning. We're supposed to be on the road already. Car's not on the trailer. Truck's not loaded. Yeah, we're behind. We do have some good news though. The AC compressor, everything is back together. Just need to tighten up these belts. I got the fuel line run. So theoretically now the car should run. Battery's hooked up. I did, to try to get these headlights to work, I did make a repair on this valve on the bottom. This car had been bumped into, and so this little hose was broken off the bottom. I don't know if that was related, but I couldn't get this out. I had to use a porta power to pull the front bumper out, push the front bumper out right here to be able to get this unit out. So now I'm going to put it back in the car, and hopefully if we get it running, the headlight doors will actually close like they're supposed to, if my JB weld holds. All right, so we're loaded up. A little bit later start than we wanted. About 5 hours later than we wanted. But had some difficulties with weather. Car wouldn't run. Had to winch it on the trailer. We'll try to get it running while we're there. So that's going to conclude this video. Swap meet prep. We will have a video on the swap meet as well. Watch for that. We'll see if we did get this thing running at the swap meet. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, subscribe. A lot more big cars coming. God bless and have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you.